Good evening and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. Well, you guys, I know on that last video that I did, someone asked me if I would do a tutorial for the diamond mesh stitch, and I said I will be happy to. And so I said that I would post it on tonight. Actually, correction, I'm going to post it on tomorrow, but I'm going to film it tonight. But what I want to do is just film the whole process row by row. And so it's not going to be a very long video. What I'll do is I'll give the instruction and demonstrate. I've never done a tutorial before, so please forgive me. But anyway, I will do the first few rows, tell you what to do or instruct you on what to do, finish it, I'll pause it, finish it, and then show you what it should look like. And then we'll move on throughout the process of the whole bag. So for you, it's going to look like I made the bag in, 10 minutes, but it's going to take me a lot longer to make the bag. And so therefore, you will have a hopefully thorough tutorial. But I don't want to add it on this because y'all know I've got to run my mouth. So much has been happening. So let me fill you in and catch you up on life, okay? The life of Q. First of all, remember the fishing trip? I think that was the video before last, or I can't remember. Anyway, 2 days ago, I'm outside working in the backyard trying to get things prepped because my grow club is coming next week and they're going to be helping me get the backyard in order, and they're going to fix this big giant sinkhole I have back there that a groundhog dug. So you know how you have to clean for the cleaners or whatever, because they'll be getting it cleaned up and spiffed up, but I wanted to get stuff done too to prepare for them. So I've been doing that. So I'm back there working the other day, and I was blowing leaves with the leaf blower, and my neighbor walks up and she says, "Do you know that you have a flat tire?" I said, "No, I don't." So anyway, that has started a big wild thing. I still haven't gotten a new tire. So we called AAA on yesterday. My sister, she let me use her AAA. He came and he put my donut spare on the car. I took it to the tire shop, which is right 60 seconds away from me. It's like right on the corner. All I have to do is pull out and go across the street and pull into the parking lot. So they want $65 for a used tire, and I'm thinking, I'm not paying that much. Well, I found out they're the cheapest. Everybody else want close to $100 for a used tire. So I will be going tomorrow because I called around today to price. And so once I found out that this place, which is a real nice place, in fact, I've had some things done there before. Actually, I had a tire patch there before. But anyway, so I will be going there on tomorrow to purchase the spare tire. So that will be that. Okay, so I'm out of $65, okay? And I hope I don't get another flat. So I thought maybe I had ran over something because I went to an art show on Saturday. And then I thought that perhaps we might have run over something while doing the fishing, because there's a lot of dirt roads there. There's the main road, but then when you pull over the fish, it's a dirt road. So I thought maybe we had run over a nail or a rock or anything. Not the case. The tire was just worn. It was full of bubbles, he said. So, and he showed it to me. So it was just a worn tire. So then I started thanking God, because we could have gotten that flat on the island. And so we would have had to get towed to the ferry just to get back to the mainland so that we could find a tire place. Everything might have been closed. It would have been a nightmare. Okay. And we were 50 miles from home. So thank God that didn't happen. It could have happened on the highway. It could have happened anywhere from that island all the way back to my house. And then, Saturday I went to the art show and everything, got home, and that was the end. I guess the tire said, it's time to give up the ghost. So it did. So now I have the donut on. I haven't been anywhere. I'm just waiting until tomorrow when I can go right down the street, make that little left turn, pull into the parking lot and get my tire. Okay, that story's out of the way. Then I wake up this morning and I see that I have a slew of emails. So I'm like, let me read them. One from my homeowner's insurance company. They have decided to stop selling homeowners insurance because they sell car insurance, homeowners, renters, all that. And it's a nice place. It wasn't that cheap, but it was cheap enough to where I didn't have any worries. And of course, it comes out of my house note in escrow every month. So, I mean, out of sight, out of mind, right? They decided to end the homeowners portion. So they sent the letter, or they sent the email, and then they told us to expect a letter in the mail in the next couple of days, and with the suggestions of other house insurance companies that we can utilize, because my insurance would have renewed in June. So they're not giving us that much time. So I started calling around today. The cheapest one that I found, which was really, it was actually really, really good, but it's $500 more a year. And I really want to go with this company because, I look at the companies that they suggest, my house insurance company, if it's somewhere within the same range price-wise, but this offers more. The other one, if something happened, let's say a fire broke out and I lose my home, I would have just broke even. The company that I checked with today, that's $500 more a year. If I lose my home, the appreciation, I will end up accumulating. I won't tell you the amount, but believe me, it's double of what I owe on the home now. So I would be able to pay off the home and have enough money to get established somewhere else in another home. So that was very appealing. Another thing that they cover that my insurance now does not cover are outside structures. So I have a shed back there that's actually falling apart. So once it falls apart, if I take this insurance, boom, it's covered. The second thing it will cover is my greenhouse. And I have one of those little cheap ghetto-fied greenhouses that's not worth anything really, but it's covered. And so they would purchase another greenhouse. And of course, I would go for the gusto, especially for the amount that they will cover it for. And the third thing that I liked is that, everybody covers for plumbing, like if you have a mishap with plumbing in the home and whatnot. But this not only will cover for plumbing, but it will also cover for sewer and drain outside. So that means they'll cover my floor, walls, appliances, anything that gets damaged inside of the house, and then the sewer line outside. So if anything ever happens outside to where the city has to come and dig up, and that happened down the street from me last year. And so, that's thousands of dollars. So they also cover that. And then my deductible will be actually low. And then also, if I have loss of use of the home due to anything, fire, flood, earthquake, or what have you, any type of disaster, that will mean that would warrant me to have to leave the home and stay outside of the home, they will cover full hotel, food, and clothing if I need clothing or whatever. So because of that, I said, I really want to go with this company. Now, they have an underwriting company, and they're going to be calling me, the same company will be calling me on tomorrow. They said that they are sure, pretty much certain, that with the underwriting company, I would pay a lot less for the same benefits. I just won't get as much. So, the loss of, if I lose the home, I may not get the amount that, that this company, would give me. And then also, it may not cover the sewer and drain, the outside portion of it. She said, but everything else pretty much. But she wasn't sure. She's waiting for Mr. Hawkins, her, boss, to come in. And then he's the one who does the quote for, and the other insurance company, the underwriters, is called Michigan Basic. And I've had them. I carried renter's insurance back when I rented. And Michigan Basic is very, very good. And they're an underwriting company. So basically, I only had to utilize them one time. My ceiling had caved in my apartment. And then water came flying down. And it damaged my couch. They ended up buying me new furniture, They paid for my hotel because I did have to leave. They paid for clothing, everything that I lost in there, they paid. And my insurance policy was only, at that time, back in 1995, $100 a year. So I ended up getting thousands out of that. And then my apartment complex manager, she was like, you have to turn that over to us because no one else had renter's insurance. So everybody else who suffered on that first floor, they were just plumb out of luck. I was like, what, I got to turn over my renter's insurance that I'm paying for? She was like, because of the damage in the apartment, it needs to be covered. I was like, well, where's your insurance? I was like, I'm not giving you 1 red cent. I pocketed that money and I was able to get that couch steam clean. Now, what I did end up getting, I ended up getting a new bed. Then I bought another car because they paid me like $10,000 for everything. You know, after they came and assessed and everything, because it did look bad, but the stuff, I was able to salvage some of it. So I did very well that year in 1995. And I bought me a new Chevy Lumina and a new bed and what else? A few other things. And then I banked the rest. That was a good year, y'all. But anyway, this is the same company. So yes, I'm almost certain. And that's the company I more than likely will go with if they're a lot cheaper. Hopefully they'll be cheaper than the insurance I have now. Or if I can break even, I will be happy because I already know my house payment is going to go up because our taxes went up this year. And it's an election year, so you know they're going to sock it to us, okay? And then I don't want it to go up even further because of insurance issues. So that's it. So that was a nightmare. So I've been on the phone all day. Then I'm trying to get the yard together. So I went out back today and did all that. And so that's what's been going on in the world of Q. Okay, so now, because I don't want this video to end up being too long, and this is the pre-video. First of all, I started on that shawl with my favorite yarn here, and I'm going to figure this out. I think it's merino wool, but I'm going to have to order a hank of merino wool just to see. I've got to find some more of this yarn, whatever this is. I know it's not alpaca because alpaca has the little hairs that stick out. This is some form of wool, but it's not a scratchy wool. It's a very soft drapey wool. I believe it's merino, and I know it's chunky. So I decided instead of making that diamond mesh shawl that I said I was going to make, I did start it, and I got to the 14th row, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to change this because I want something a little warmer, because I want something I can also wear in the fall and then the winter. You know, I can use it as a snood. So I chained it extra long because I knew I had the yarn to do that. So I chained 220 instead of the 180 that I had changed. And I decided to go with the herringbone stitch. You can't really see the definition of it yet, but as I go along, it's going to be in the shape of a herringbone. Think of a herringbone, you know, back and forth. And so I'm working on it. I'm on the 2nd row right now of it. I started this, I frogged it on today, and I started this on today. So you'll see as I go along with this. So I'm doing the herringbone stitch for this, and it's still going to, look how drapey it is because I'm using a size L hook. It's going to be very drapey. It's going to be warm, and it's going to be large. The shawl is going to be large. And I decided to go rectangle with it. I could have gone triangle with the herringbone stitch, but I decided to just go on and go rectangle because, you know, I can wrap it. Look how long it is. You know, I can wrap it. I can, you know, put it over my head as a snood. I can do all kind of stuff with it. So I am so thrilled and can't wait. I'm going to enjoy working this up. And it's a real fast stitch on top of that. Okay, so now let's moving on. Okay, and then this will be the end of it. I brought out 2 of my circular market bags. I couldn't find my pink one because I did one in pink and white, but this one is in orange and white, a set that I did last year. But before we get to that, this is my favorite bag. I made this last year from some scrap yarn. When I saw the colors, I was like, what can I do with this? And this is what I did. Bang! I made a watermelon bag, y'all. When I saw those two greens, and then this color of this yarn was actually called watermelon. And then I put the little black dots in it for the seeds with some black yarn. Made me a watermelon bag. I wore this thing out last summer. So I pulled it out today because we're into spring, so I can start using my watermelon bag again. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so here is one of my, this is the set of diamond mesh bags, and I use these for the farmer's market. This is what we're going to be making, but it's going to be a little different. Yours is going to be just a wee bit more polished than this. As you can see, I did the trim one row of white, but I'm going to make the trim thicker for the bag that we're going to do. So we're going to do 5 rows, just like what we did with this. I like the thicker border. So just think, at this part right here where you're seeing just the one row of white, whatever you decide to trim it with, and I haven't decided yet what color I'm going to trim mine. And I'm not going to use the patriotic yarn because it's going to be hard for you to see. So I'm just going to use some scrap cotton yarn, something that you'll be able to see. And then so my base color will be one color, and then the border color will be another color. And so it's going to be thick like this. And then I like to make my handles. I do like 10 stitches, and then I decrease it every row. So I will be showing you how to decrease it. And then once we get to 5, well, actually 8. So we'll start with, no, it's 12. We'll start with 12 stitches, then 11, 10, 9, 8. Then when we get to 8, we'll stay with 8. We won't have to decrease, and we'll finish it up on one side. Then we'll work the other side, and then we will attach it right here in the middle at the shoulder. And this is your market bag. And I love these, especially at the farmer's market. And I don't make them too big. I don't make them too wide. Look how wide it gets. And then, after we get the width and the length, it's only going to be 20 rows. So it's going to work up quick for you. So it's only 20 rows. And then when you get to the 20th row, that's when we will decrease. We'll go into every other stitch to make the this part of it a little bit more narrow. You'll still be able to get your produce in there, but it won't be as wide as the bag itself. And so anything you put in the bag, as you can see, it will stretch out. You'll be able to get anything in there. And this, you could put groceries in it, but it would be too flimsy for a grocery bag. Now this would make a good bag for groceries, your solid where you connect all the stitches. But this market bag, or you can use it for a catch-all, a beach bag, anything. So we're going to be doing this on tomorrow. So I just wanted you to see it. This is the bag we're going to be making. So you're going to need cotton yarn. I would suggest no other yarn but cotton. So you crocheters, if you want to make this bag later on, or if you want to crochet along with me or whatever, if you have some cotton yarn, you want to crochet along with me, get it out. Get 2 colors out. You're going to only need 1 ball of one color, and then, maybe a third of a ball for the other color for your trim. And that's it. And so you need very little yarn for it. So I'm going to go into my scrap yarn, my cotton scrap yarn, and I'm going to pick out my 2 colors. And so meet me here tomorrow for the tutorial. It'll be my very first one on how to make the little market bag. And I make mine different from, other tutorials, because most people with the diamond mesh, they chain 5 in between. I chain 4 because I don't like for my holes to be too big, because I don't want nothing falling out of the bag. Okay. When you chain 5, it looks nice and everything, but things can fall out of the bag. So I go with 4, and I think I like how it looks, doing 4. You can even go 3 or 7. You can make it your diamond mesh as wide or as narrow as you want it. But for me, I think doing 4 and 5 makes it look defined. So with 4, it's just as defined as it is with 5, just a little bit smaller. 3, it doesn't look as defined. So, I've played around with different chains with that. Okay, you guys, so that's it. We kept it under 20 minutes. So I'm going to get off of here. So join me tomorrow, and we will do the tutorial on how to make the diamond mesh bag. And And hopefully, let me know if you're going to make one or if you decided to make one. But I'll let you know that on the next video. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here, and I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Have a wonderful week. It is Tuesday evening, so I'll see you on Wednesday and then again this weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.